This is the story of a girl living a life like a fairy tale, but with a modern twist. Meet Princess Estelle of Sweden, the small royal who's winning hearts and getting attention all over the world. Who is this special little girl? Born on February 23, 2012, Princess Estelle Silvia Eva Mary is the oldest child of Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden. She's not just any royal child. Estelle is next in line for the Swedish throne after her mom. It's like she was born with a golden crown. Here's something really interesting. Estelle isn't just living a royal life, she's making history just by being born. She's the first girl in Swedish history born with a strong right to the throne. Even if more princes are born after her, Estelle will keep her place in line. That's girl power. But there's more. Estelle is also the first person in Swedish history to be born to a woman who will be queen. This little princess is breaking barriers before she can even walk. Now, let's talk about where this little royal sleeps at night. Estelle lives in Haga Palace. This isn't just any house, it's an old palace near Stockholm that was fixed up before she was born. Can you imagine having a palace as your playground? That's a really cool childhood. But Estelle doesn't stay in the palace all the time. This princess travels a lot. She's already visited more countries than most of us will see in our whole lives. Denmark, Norway, Finland, Germany, France, Italy, and that's just the start. She's also been to Japan, China, India, Australia, and the United States. She must have a lot of stamps in her passport. And it's not just places she's seeing. Estelle is meeting some of the most famous and powerful people in the world. She's met the Pope, spent time with Barack and Michelle Obama, and talked with world leaders like Justin Trudeau and Angela Merkel. That's pretty amazing for a kid who's still in elementary school. Speaking of school, Estelle doesn't go to just any school. She goes to Campus Manila School, a special private school on an island in Stockholm. It's not like most schools. They teach in both Swedish and English and use a special way of teaching called the International Baccalaureate. It sounds fancy, doesn't it? But here's something cool. Even though she's a princess, Estelle is treated just like any other student at school. Can you imagine sitting next to a princess in math class? You might be thinking, okay, she has a great school, but does this princess know how to have fun? Well, Estelle sure does. She loves skiing, skating, horse riding, and swimming. When she's not doing active things, she likes calmer hobbies like gardening, baking, and painting. Plus, she has two cute pets, a dog named Rio and a horse called Victor. Having your own horse as a kid is a pretty cool royal perk. But here's something interesting. Estelle isn't just playing all the time. Even though she's young, she's already learning about her future job as a possible queen. She often goes to official events with her parents and is learning how to do royal duties. It's like, take your daughter to work day all the time. Now let's talk about fashion. When you're a princess, you have to look the part, right? Estelle has great style. She loves bright, colorful clothes that show her fun personality, dresses, skirts, cool jackets. She wears it all well. Sometimes she even wears matching outfits with her mom or little brother. How cute is that? But it's not all fancy designer clothes. Estelle also likes to wear traditional Swedish outfits, especially for big events. It's a nice way for her to show her Swedish heritage. Plus, let's be honest, those traditional outfits look really cute on a little princess. One of the coolest things about Estelle's clothes is how she uses them to tell stories, like wearing yellow and blue when she's at official events, or wearing a sailor-style outfit for boat races. This princess uses fashion to connect with people and show her personality. That's pretty smart for a kid. You might be wondering, what's a normal day like for a princess? Well, even though Estelle's life is fancier than most, she still has a pretty normal routine. She goes to school, does her homework, and plays with friends. But then there are those royal extras, like having a chef to cook your meals, a driver to take you places, and people to help with everything. But don't think it's all fun and games. Being a princess comes with responsibilities too. Estelle is already learning about diplomacy, public speaking, and the importance of helping others. She often goes to events with her parents, waving to crowds and meeting important people. Can you imagine having to be on your best behavior all the time, knowing that cameras are always watching? That's a lot of pressure for a kid. Speaking of pressure, let's talk about Estelle's future. As next in line for the throne after her mom, there's a real chance she could become Queen of Sweden one day. That means she's not just planning for college or a job, she's preparing to maybe lead a country. That's a big job to get ready for. But here's the thing. Estelle seems to be handling it all very well. She's growing up to be smart, confident, and kind. She's learning about her country's history and culture, and she's already showing signs of being a great leader. Plus, with her sense of style and fun personality, you can bet she'll be one of the coolest queens ever. Now you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but there must be some bad parts to being a princess, right? Well, you're not wrong. While Estelle's life is very special, it's not always easy. She has to deal with people always watching her, strict rules about how to behave and look, and the pressure of knowing that millions of people are paying attention to what she does. Can you imagine not being able to have a bad hair day without everyone talking about it? Also, while Estelle gets to travel the world and meet amazing people, she also misses out on some normal kid experiences. No sudden sleepovers or quick trips to the mall for this princess. Everything has to be planned and approved ahead of time for safety reasons. And forget about having her own social media. Estelle's online presence is carefully managed by the royal family. But let's not feel too bad for her. After all, she does get to live in a palace and wear tiaras. And speaking of tiaras, did you know that Estelle already has her own? It's a small diamond tiara that was given to her when she was christened. That's a pretty fancy first piece of jewelry. Now let's talk about some of the coolest things about being Princess Estelle. For one, she gets to celebrate her birthday twice. There's her real birthday on February 23rd, and then there's her name day on August 15th. In Sweden, name days are almost as big as birthdays, and for royals, it's an extra special celebration. Can you imagine having 2 days a year where everyone celebrates you? Another cool thing? Estelle gets to be on stamps and coins. That's right, her face has been on Swedish postage stamps and special coins. How many kids can say they've been used as money? But maybe the coolest thing about being Princess Estelle is the good she can do in the world. Even at her young age, she's already inspiring people and making a difference. She's a role model for young girls, showing that they can be both girly and strong. And as she grows older, she'll have even more chances to support causes she cares about and make good changes in the world. So what's next for Princess Estelle? Well, if everything goes as planned, she'll keep learning in school, maybe go to university and take on more royal duties as she gets older. She'll probably travel even more, representing Sweden around the world. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be talking about Queen Estelle of Sweden.